Okay, I'm gonna actually skip to the third one I had because it's quite similar.
Okay.
So, this is the third one the next story is by user 33 Sunshine and posted 5 hours ago, and they said, "How can I, 26 male, figure out why I'm being ghosted? I'm new to dating. I've had a lot of success getting matches on the app Hinge compared to other apps I've tried. I'm trying harder to date than I ever have before, and I've had a few women predictably ghost me / lose interest when I took too long to ask them out. Totally understandable. So the next two women I matched with, I moved a bit quicker. They responded enthusiastically. One had to reschedule the date twice. She reached out in advance, apologized, and initiated rescheduling. However, while trying to find a time for the second reschedule, which by that point I was losing interest anyways, she just stopped replying. Like, she asked if there was a time in the next week I could make work, and I responded, and she didn't. The next one was even more enthusiastic about meeting. We agreed on a time and place and then went back to chatting. One of my messages she didn't respond to. Then the next day, the day of the date, I asked if we were still on and got no response. I decided to swing by the venue anyways, and she wasn't there. I figured, but I didn't have anything else going on anyways. She still never responded, so I'm considering myself ghosted. The main reason I find this weird is how much they seem to want to meet. Nothing obvious was said to piss them off, like a crass joke, political comment, or me sounding aloof towards the date. So, I think he's trying to figure out like why he keeps on getting ghosted. Okay, I don't have my opinion about this yet, but one thing I have to say is I don't really like the idea, or like I don't like it when people ghost people. I just think it's very rude. And this is not even with the dating stuff. Like, for example, I sell things on Facebook Marketplace, and I get people asking like, how much, or like, can I get a discount? And I'll counter offer or something like, oh, okay, I can reduce it to this amount. And then they just like never reply. Or like they'll ask me like, oh, does it have this feature? And I'll be like, yes, it has this. And then they don't reply. And I just feel like, for me, when I talk to people, it's always like, oh, thank you for your time, but I'm no longer interested. Or it would be like some feedback.
Like at least response.
Yeah. Like some feedback like, oh, that price is quite high for me. So they get some feedback and they're like, oh, the price is maybe too high or something like that. Give them a chance to like be like, well, I can lower it more or something like that.
You're so sweet.
No, but I just feel like it's so like annoying.
I know.
And I just like, I know how it feels. Yeah. So
we're just so different on this bit.
You ghost people?
I don't ghost people, but I would just react like hard or send meme or GIF, so it's like that. But because if you're like I don't know, but sometimes I'm like, oh, thank you. Or for example, that I want to buy something. And when I know the price, I'm like, okay, let me think about it. I get back, and I think about it. I didn't get back. But at least I reply, or like, let me think. Or I would just say like, oh, thank you very much. Maybe next time, But I think some people, they lose interest so easy. This is what's happening with maybe the world this day, that it's like an auction market, that like, very opportunist, and not first come first serve, but like if you make it plan first and then maybe she already went out with someone and like, oh, hit it off, and then no, I don't need the second plan. Maybe he just very unfortunate that his date planned after, and then she went on, she saw somebody else earlier, and then she's like, oh, maybe I want to invest it in this person.
Yeah, I think most likely that's the case for sure.
But I mean, because you also meet each other on this cyber world, so there's no sense of empathy towards the other person, or you have to be kind because you're not friends and you just know each other by like texting 3 days, So I don't think that the other person even care that, oh, I need to bear his feeling, or I need to be mindful.
Like you're hiding behind this like cyber wall.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I'm just going to like just close the door. That's it,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess people don't like, I don't know, maybe I think too much and like I feel like, well, what is that? How is that going to make the other person feel?
Yeah. I think you think too much. You definitely are. And I just want to say that this is not for you.
Yeah. No, I could not survive in online dating.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, just to end conversation with someone that you don't want to like, actually it's done. Conversation seems done, but you're just like dragging it long, not because you want to be flirt with the person, but you just don't want to be like, oh, I seen on them.
Maybe, okay, this actually goes back to like the other story before this was because I think you know that I've had conversations before, like when we were friends, and I would ask her advice about things going on in my life, and it would be kind of like, well, I'm not really interested in this person, but I don't know how to like end it. And I don't want to be mean and be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, or like, can you stop texting me? So I would, start dwindling, like shorten my responses. And then if that didn't work, then I would like just respond with gifts, and then you were like, okay, just like stop messaging her or something like that, And I just feel like I know how much of a hit that can take to your self-esteem. And like, I don't want to reject people like in a mean way. And so I was hoping it would just like casually like reach cruising speed.
But some people can be very persistent.
So that's what I was saying about the last story was like, she should just like accept what happened and just kind of like take it. Because if something was going to happen, really going to happen, then he would have maybe made more of a sign or something like that.
I mean, I would say that, like I say, just give it one gesture and then that's it. Don't do more than that. Just one and then call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But coming back to this guy, so what's our thought?
So the question is like, why do I keep getting ghosted? I mean, this time he even tried to like be faster.
Yeah.
And I would say that is key. Like, I think nowadays people, I think a lot of people on the dating apps get stuck in the talking only phase and it never gets to meeting in person. And for some people, they're like, we're not going to meet in person, you're just wasting my time.
I wonder if at the end of the day, they're just not interested in him.
So let me see. So one of the first comment from Crunchy Kitty Litter said, the reality, she found someone more interesting and worth her efforts.
Right? Yeah.
I'm not knocking you, but just remember their inboxes are typically overflowing with options. And the greener grass syndrome has some of them constantly refreshing and checking their options for the next possibly better thing. Chalk it up as a loss, but keep honing your social skills and get back out there. You'll find one soon enough. And he replied, I'm just trying to avoid this happening again and again. I think you're right, and all I can really do is move on and keep getting better, more comfortable. And that's true. I think that's...
You have to build a thick skin.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about meeting someone in person is that you can like...
You can stalk them.
No, is that you can get that like... You can like within that first meeting at a party...
You already know if you want to move forward.
Yeah, and you can be like, hey, why don't we... grab dinner this week or something like that.
So you done that before?
I don't recall. I don't remember. But I figure that's how it would happen. And then so things like that, where nowadays in dating, it's like you can actually have a whole night of texting someone and like, oh, like we're really vibing well. And then the next day they're like, oh, I'm already dating someone else. Like, oh.
What's your worst fear?
Worst fear
when dating? Or like start dating?
Okay, my worst fear when it comes to like, the first thing that comes to mind, honestly, is that I always feel like when someone is showing interest in me, I feel like it's like they're not being sincere. Like it's a trap, because I've had one time in like high school or something like that where this girl started texting me and then they were flirting, and then it turns out that it was like a dare from a friend or something like that.
Oh no.
But it wasn't like that bad. It was more like she was having problems with her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. She was from like another school, and then she was having a problem with her boyfriend, and then so her friends were like, oh, you should like get this guy's number and start texting him. So like we met at like a band competition, so marching band, and then she was like, hey, can I get you? So I thought it was like she was really interested in me, and then like a couple like a week or something later, she was like, hey, to be honest, I have a boyfriend, and like my friends told me to like talk to you because we were having problems and like stuff like that, but like it's not
a dare. I think that your friend might want her to get herself out there, and get herself out there and say that there are other futures in the sea.
I also had
Your yummy salmon.
stop it.
Yum, yum, yum.
I had something really bad too once. I had when I used to work in restaurants, I had like my knife bag and I had my phone number, like a luggage tag on it, and it had like my name and number on it. And I started receiving these texts, someone saying like, "Oh, you know, I work with you, and you know, I think you're cute, and I like you, and stuff like that." And we're like talking. Anyways, in the end, it turns out like just someone was like messing with me and like got my number and like was like, you know, because they started sending me like explicit pictures, and I was like, "What the hell? Like, who is this person?" And I was like, definitely didn't look like anyone I work with, and I was like, "This is sus."
Psychopath.
Yeah. So like after that, like I flipped the tag over, like I put the card facing inside. So if someone found my bag, they can take the card out and look at it. But my number wouldn't just be like out in the open. But that's why with our luggage bags, I hide the name. And,
Yeah. So my mom, just off topic. So like about this thing, my mom just telling me that when we went like our last trip, she said, "Don't put your phone number, just put an email." I'm like, "Oh,
that's
I put
smarter.
actually email and city and country. That's it. My name, of course, and email." Yeah. Mom like, "Don't put your full address," because I put my full address. I don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Stalker.
Anyways, yeah, it's quite scary.
Just put your friend's address. Put your neighbor's address. No. Imagine. No. Yeah. Okay. So this guy's advice, yeah, I think it's honestly, this is how the game works nowadays. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
But
like everything happens so fast, you know. So I think that he already tried to adapt and, you know, improve his pace into like this kind of things. But, you know, like don't overthinking it. You just need to adapt and get used to how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just refining, like you're just refining your skill, also like maybe building thicker skin, stuff like that. So unfortunately, dude, that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Crunchy.
Okay. So, all right, 2 more.